What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blue Bloods Football, and this is your post-match analysis for Dortmund and Chelsea at the Signal Iduna Park. 1-0 to Dortmund, which was somewhat inevitable, even though I had a little bit of hope that we'd put in a better performance. This is going to be quite the prediction. I'm going to go out and say 2-1 to Chelsea. Don't quote me on this. 2-1 Chelsea. And don't get me wrong, I think we had a decent performance overall. But, it doesn't mean anything if you cannot score. £600 million later and we can't buy a damn goal, guys. I don't know what's going on, honestly. The amounts of bad luck we had in this game was just ridiculous. João Felix skied the ball at some point, hit the crossbar, headed it across the box, instead of hitting it into the goals from the header, but just couldn't find a target. Enzo Fernandez at some point tried to pop on Kai Havertz. Did he have an attempt? I don't know. It's also another thing, guys. I don't know what we need. Do we need another striker? Because at this point, 10, 11 strikers later since Diego Costa, and we still can't find the goals. And I don't think it's a striker problem, personally. But I don't know what the problem is. I thought it was a midfield problem, but the midfield seems to be a bit better. But you know what? Let's get to that. Let's just go through the post-match analysis as a whole. We started off with a 4-2-3-1. Just like the last game, the two centre-backs being Thiago Silva, of course, and Koulibaly, who I was a bit frightened for, to be honest. I thought it would be better if we started with Chalobah, personally, but he actually played a decent game, to be honest. He didn't do too much wrong. The goal wasn't necessarily his fault, it was just a counter-attack, but we'll get to that. Left back was Chilwell, who I was happy to see start again, but to be honest, he looked a little slow at the beginning of this game. He's not 100%. I guess he did enough somewhat, and I wanted to see how Mudryk was going to perform now that Chilwell was in the scene, because people were complaining that, obviously Cucurella was holding Mudryk back and Mount was holding Mudryk back by playing in the space, and I was like, does this guy really need the perfect setup to just play normally? So yeah, I was judging him relatively harshly this game, and we'll get to his analysis now. Right back, Reece James, who else? Midfield pivot, Enzo Fernandez, great as usual, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who I wasn't looking forward to seeing play personally. I thought Kovacic would get a start, but I guess he wasn't match fit, so it makes sense that he was there. He played an average game, in my opinion. He didn't offer anything extra besides just being a body in the midfield, which is what I think was the aim. He didn't do too much. He played a lot better in the Fulham game, in my opinion, but yeah, I guess he isn't 100% match fit yet after all the game time he's missed out on. The three in front was João Felix as Cam, as usual, of course, no question about it, played brilliantly against Fulham. On his right was Hakim Ziyech, the only option we had, given we had no other right wingers that are either injured or not eligible for Champions League. He played relatively decently despite some people's opinions. And on the left was Mudryk, I'll get to him now. And Kai Havertz in front, by the way. He looked laggy. He looked like he wasn't up for the game. Even in the team photo, dude, I looked at this guy, I'm like, does he want to play ball today? But yeah, on the left with Mudryk, let's start with his performance. Personally, I don't know. I feel like, again, running out of excuses for Mudryk. I don't think he's going to be a bad player and he's a terrible player, but I still think he needs to warm up into playing for Chelsea, a lot more. He looks very nervy on the ball at times. He overdoes or underdoes things, and what blows me away is his touch. For someone who seems so technically, who's lauded for his technical ability and all the stuff he can do on the ball, his touch is very odd. Watching this guy being like a freestyle footballer on YouTube and all the takers he has, I think that trapping the ball from the sky should be light work for him, but during this game, he flopped on many occasions, in my opinion, despite, Chilwell being there. And he was subbed off because obviously he still can't play a full 90, so I'm just hoping his time comes sooner rather than later. Biggest thing obviously is the fact that we just can't score. At this point it feels like we couldn't hit the ocean from the beach. It's actually getting that desperate and that bad. Looking at the post-match analysis, Dortmund actually played very well at the beginning. They're playing some one-touch football. It was very frightening. Stuff I've actually wanted to see Chelsea do for a long time, because we're so laborious on the ball. We pass it, control it, look for an option, and by the time chance comes, all the defenders and all the midfielders have tracked back during a counter-attack or something even, and it's just too late. Because Dortmund was just confident with their passing. They hit every target, boom, boom, bang, boom, boom, moving our players left and right, but they also weren't so great at finishing at the beginning. So yeah, that was on them. And yeah, Chelsea looked a bit shaky in my opinion at the beginning during those stages. Like our touches were a bit off. We weren't so confident in the game plan. It seemed like the game plan was to counter-attack. And we did get chances like I mentioned, but we just couldn't put them away. At the beginning of the second half, we actually started to pick up and, go more on the front foot, and we looked like the better team personally in that half. But it doesn't mean anything if you can't hit the target, to be honest. I mean, the only thing that gave me solace during this game was the fact that Arsenal was catching hands. Guys, like, apparently we got shots on, like 4 shots on target in the first 20 minutes, as opposed to like no shots on target in the first half, despite hitting the crossbar, but those don't count as a shot on target. And yeah, we're on the front foot, but again, just couldn't put anything away. We were so unlucky. We were very, very, very unlucky, to be honest. And I actually don't know. I don't know at this point, like, what we need to do. I think maybe it's a time thing. Then again, time under Graham Potter, I don't know, guys, to be honest. Like, it's just, yeah. Anyway, so Dortmund's goal, great from Adeyemi. Nothing we can do. Took on Enzo for pace, like flipping 100-meter dash. A guy ran the span of the entire field. Obviously, one winner in that race. Kepa did relatively okay in coming out. Couldn't blame him, to be honest. And it was just a well-taken goal. And that's the thing. That's the difference, guys. They had the one clear-cut chance, and they kind of took it. Well, in the second half, at least. With us, we need the gates to open for us to score. We need, defenders to make these big holes in defense. We can't break people down. We can't score on a counter-attack. It just has to be forced again all the time, So that's getting a bit irritating, and I just hope it's a thing maybe time can solve. Because at this point, for me, the season's alright. It's off. Forget about Champions League. There's some serious teams in there. I mean, say we beat Dortmund, who do we play next? You know what I mean? It's only going to get more and more difficult, and we can't luck our way out of those. Like, there's some serious teams out there, guys, especially in the Champions League. I mean, there's still PSG or Bayern Munich, whoever that's going to turn out to be going through. So personally, it's like the season's alright, so let's just focus on the rebuild. Yeah, whatever. Personally, yes, I think next game for the Premier League, we need to bench Kai Havertz. Personally, he looks tired. Like he doesn't want to play, or whatever his reason is. Dutch Fofana comes on with energy. We need energy. We need an injection of energy. Mason Mount looked good coming off the bench. Personally, he didn't play immaculately, but it's the energy. You know what I mean? He had a bit more drive and energy than he has in the games he started. Because, like I said, this guy has been starting every game since like the Euros, and he has not had a break. Kukureya looked a bit better as well coming off the bench. Wasn't amazing, but still, it's good to bench players that have been overplaying, and then they get criticized for playing so badly, where constantly being played every game doesn't help their case. So it's good that these guys getting some break time on the bench. So I hope lineup's going to be similar again, with Mount on the bench, Kukureya on the bench, and just add Kai to that bench, because like this guy's looking laggy. He's looking slow. He's looking tired. Yeah, it's peak for this guy, like, honestly. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. Post-match analysis. Like and subscribe, comment, all the good things, and peace out.